Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkin's Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkin's logging in to bring you another episode of Adventurous Chatlog. And of course we have Deli back with us. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. So this week, since 4.1 has been out for a week, we're going to be talking about a few things that we didn't actually talk about last week, where we just sort of concentrated on the big things that are happening in 4.1. So this week, first things first is we're going to talk about Shinryu EX and just how bad the raid finder, party finder farming has been.
Oh,
So
fuck my life. Yeah, sums that up.
um, so we both have been doing a lot of raid finders with Shinryu, and I think you have had more success than I have. I don't know, in terms of clearing, I've cleared it, I think 21, 23 times, somewhere around there. And I've managed just to get from the drops an axe. That's it. I have not won anything else apart from an axe. And basically I bought the dragoon weapon and I bought the samurai weapon, and that's as far as I have. And my experience is basically it's like 2 out of 5 or 6 clears for tries, basically.
Yeah, that's about the same as me. It's like 6 attempts and you get like 1 try, like 1 clear.
I guess we did talk about last week that this was supposed to be like Thornton, and it's supposed to be the transition from O2 to O3. Do you feel that they actually managed to get that
Hmm,
difficulty level?
that's a good question. I think it's about where it's at. But the thing is, I don't know. It's like it's still too hard for people, I guess. Yeah.
But in terms of difficulty, did you find this harder than O3? Or
No, definitely not.
yeah, I kind of agree on that point. And I think Shinryu EX is more unforgiving,
Yeah, it
especially at
is.
the last phase.
Yeah, or even certain parts in the ad phase as well. If you die in the ad phase, you can get pretty fucked over if you're a tank or whatever.
Yeah. Which I find it's definitely more difficult than O2S, but when you compare O3 and Shinryu EX, it's kind of like a toss up for me, where O3 is more forgiving with deaths, like you can recover,
Yeah,
and I mean the DPS is obviously the main factor in O3, and the same thing can be said with Shinryu EX, but um, you know, if you're good with DPS, you skip a lot of phases for Shinryu, whereas in O3 it just keeps on. It's just a constant, revolving rotation.
yeah,
And yeah, I find Shinryu EX to be a little bit more difficult, more unforgiving. I would say unforgiving, not difficult. More unforgiving when there's deaths involved, especially at the last phase.
yeah. I think O3S has more mechanics and more things to worry about, but the mechanics themselves you can recover from. But Shinryu, he has only a couple of mechanics, and once you've
Yeah,
learnt them, it's the entire fight. But if you fuck one of them up, you're basically gonna wipe. So,
exactly.
yeah.
So towards the end, I hate getting 11 bolt with other people.
Oh yeah, because some people would like to run around with those fucking things.
Yeah, so I noticed, I don't know how it is in obviously in the English servers, but in our server, where if it's the Storm and 11 bolt combo at the last phase, they just run around in circles before spreading out.
Yeah, I think that's kind of weird. What think should happen is like you run around on the marker to avoid the storm thing, and
Mm,
then you kind of just stay there for the 11 bolts, so you stack all the 11 bolts onto the marker, and then you can just spread to avoid them. I mean, that
yeah.
makes sense to me, but
Uh, uh,
the
there's
way
no
I seen
marker
it
though,
is
right?
probably
For
right.
the 11 bolt. It doesn't show.
Oh no, I meant like the
Oh, you mean the
your
actual,
stack marker where
yeah,
everyone
stack
stacks at.
marker,
Yeah.
yeah. The problem is, I guess, you don't know when 11 bolt is actually going to hit because it doesn't show a marker.
Yeah, but and it sets the target once the cast is finished. So
Uh,
that's where when that cast is finished, wherever you are is where the 11 bolt's going to be.
mm.
And you've got a few seconds to get out of it, so it's not like
You
you
see
can
what
move
I
a tiny little bit earlier, but
what I do is since everyone's scrambling around, I just run off to the other
yeah,
side.
that's what I've been doing as well. But
Like
like
I'm not gonna
the way
die
I
on
think it is,
11 bolt because of you guys.
yeah, nah, because everyone seems to just like fuck up, run around randomly during
Mm.
that part. But it's like if you just all stack the 11 bolt at one spot, I don't think there's any issue with that because you could just all dodge it. It's just like like it's the same way you deal with Delta attack. You know, you stack them all on the
Mm.
thing and then spread out. So
Yeah. Well, some people have a hard time with that. Every time I see 11 bolt,
yeah,
I just like, please, please, no one die. Or I'm just going running off to the other side. Basically, I'm just running around
yeah,
Shinryu, so I don't die.
yeah. That's
There's
what I
some
do too. Like
occasions.
I usually go to my what do you call it, the atomic race bot or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that is the most unforgiving bit, I think, at the end if you die. I mean, because of the heads, when the heads come and then they stick on a tank,
yeah. If they're stuck on a tank
and
or a
can't heal
healer
the
or something,
tank. So
yeah,
you,
you're fucked.
yeah, and I don't know if there's benediction up for most of the healers at that point, but if they do, they should have healed. They should heal the head straight away.
yeah.
Cause
And
the
if a DPS dies before the head, that's basically unrecoverable. Well, at least
yeah,
for Raid Finder. I think with the good group, it's obviously recoverable, but it's pretty hard still.
I have not seen a recover from that as far as I can
mm,
remember.
I
Ev
think I've seen one or two, but it's like, unless the white mage is really good, then you're pretty much dead. So
yeah, well. So we do agree then that Raid Finder. Oh, actually, I forgot to tell you. I actually went into a party finder, a farm party.
was it really a farm or was it a
It was
farm?
not. It was not a farm.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It pretty much. I went in as a tank, all right. So because that's the only available spot. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's try this out. Waited for another 10 minutes to get another tank. Went in there. We never got past first phase.
Really?
Yes, people were dying to tidal waves.
Oh my
And,
god. Yeah, that sounds like Raid Finder as well.
and I'm like, after three, like, just the normal three tries, and I'm sorry, I'm leaving, but this is not a farm party, and I just left.
Yeah.
And like,
That.
don't waste my time. I rather just have waited for Raid Finder. At least you'll get to at least the ad phase most of the time.
Usually, but it'll be a sloppy advance as
Yeah.
well. You'll have someone die to a spikesicle or something, and then it just snowballs from there into the ad phase, and then you die.
So I'm still going to try and get my weapon, at least for ninja. That's the last thing I think I'll get. If the monk drops, actually I've seen the monk fist drop twice, and I never won it because I was a ninja. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I'll try and get any other ones. I mean, if I do get other ones out of luck, then that's fine.
Yeah, I have my main 4 ones that I want, but if an axe or something drops, I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't really plan to get the paladin ones. It's no point. Yeah, so talking about classes, that's the next topic that we have. Basically, we've had a lot of, well, it gradually getting update and updates for balancing different classes. So I want to know, do you feel like it's mostly balanced now?
um, I think for the DPS, everything except for machinist is fine. But machinist is fine. It's in DPS wise. I just think they still lack the utility, the unique utility that Bard has as well. So,
Mm.
but DPS wise, they're fine, and they still do contribute to the party. So, yeah,
Tanks, I think we've talked about the tanks where I think pretty much it's been fixed. The tanks are fixed basically, especially with the new Warrior edition.
yeah. No, I'd say they're definitely fixed.
Yeah. So Shake It Off is like basically Divine Veil, and then Steel Cyclone got 100% HP back, basically base HP absorption.
Yeah, it's
So
a nice little bonus for dungeons and stuff.
yeah. So yeah, I find the tanks are fine. The DPS is sort of getting in there. Yeah, I just didn't know about all these Dragoon stuff that they've added. It's like
Yeah,
they keep making Dragoon better. It's like they want you to play Dragoon.
I do want to play Dragoon now. So it worked. It worked.
Yeah. In the DPS department, I do agree. Even though I haven't played Machinist, Machinist is still like just looking at it.
Uh, a
It's.
good machinist does fine DPS, so nothing to
Mm,
worry about
I
in
think
that
not
department.
in
It's
the
just the
DPS
utility.
department, but more so, like you said, in the utility sort of
Yeah.
department. It's sort of missing something like an identity or what it's
Yeah, I mean,
supposed
like
to be.
Hypercharge is good, but they just don't have anything really unique. Like the Bard has the crit thing, and Battle Voice has got direct hit and all that.
Yep.
But Machinist just has the flat 6% bonus, and that's it. So it's like they need something to identify themselves.
Mm. And when it comes to melee DPS, I think the DPS wise, Monk, Dragoon, Ninja, uh, they're pretty much toe to toe, which I don't like in a way because
Because
mo-
Ninja brings more. Yeah, Ninja and
yeah,
Dragoon bring way more than a monk does. So
yeah.
yeah, like
So
party wise.
party wise, Dragoon has Litany. It's great. Litany is like pretty OP still, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
That
great.
critical. Um, and obviously it has the piercing debuff, which can help your bard or your machinist. Ninja has trick attack, which you can use every 1 minute.
Yep.
Six, yeah. It's like you know, monk gets a
5%
physical
physical. Yeah.
physical up for everyone, and that's a recast timer of 90, I think.
Yeah.
I think in my head it's 90. So
90 or 2 minutes, I can't remember.
I think it's 90. It's a little bit faster. It's the same
Yeah.
as fire. So
Oh yeah, so 90. Yeah, that's
yeah.
90.
So it only affects physical attackers, which doesn't really help. I feel the monk got the short end of this expansion when they were actually, you know, pushing monk to be like the job for Stormblood. So they should have given monk a little bit more, I think, and I've still been waiting for since 4.0 basically for a small buff or something that changes monk a little bit. And
Yeah. I think they should change Brotherhood to... Is it Brotherhood? Yeah,
yeah,
Brotherhood's the 5% thing, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah, I think they should change that to just like flat damage because like every other utility is
Flat damage.
yeah, flat damage. So it affects the healers, it affects a caster if you have one.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's flat
It's,
out better. So
yeah, and I mean they can. I guess the only thing with that as well is, will monks only get chakra from like skills? What is it called? Not abilities,
weapon
but
skills,
skill. You know.
weapon
Um,
skills, yeah.
yeah, for the skills, like weapon skills. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. And you don't get chakra from magic abilities or magic skills. It's weapon
Mm.
skills. That's the only time you can get chakra. So I feel like that's a bit of a downer for monk as well. So you really have to sort of organize a physical group for the monk to do well. If you
Yeah, and
surround
then
if you surround monk with like mages, that's it. That's not gonna work out.
and the thing is, all the like fucking meta comps are all physical still.
Yeah,
It's because the physical fucking they get all the buffs like bullshit. That's
yeah,
why Brotherhood should be like the casters as well. At least that
yeah.
would help
I
with
think they
it
should
somewhat.
change. Like I made a separate video with the things that I've suggested for the monks, and I don't want to go through all of that. But the new things that came to mind while continuing playing monk is basically, yeah, brotherhood should just be a flat out increase for everyone. And last night we were talking about purification. There's no point in
Yeah.
purification.
It's just for dungeons where like the other melee refuses to goad you or something, or you don't have a bar. That's
Yeah,
basically it.
and honestly, if you're rushing through dungeons, you won't have any problems uh, with TP. So
Unless
purification,
unless this is duty finder group and the other DPS is shit. But
yeah, I suppose. But four-man dungeons is,
it's pretty irrelevant
yeah,
content
it's
anyway.
pretty irrelevant. You'll get through it either way.
Yeah.
Whether you have to just slow it down or whatever. But end game, there's no fight where there's TP starvation, unlike in Alexander.
Yeah, with the trash can fight. Oh my
Mm,
god.
yeah, the trash can fight.
Yeah, the trash can fight. I remember having to bloody give you what's it called? Promotion, the TP promotion all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and oh man, I think the purification needs a rework. I don't know if, because here's the problem: monks don't complain. The monks, I don't see them complaining a lot. They complained at the start, but never got anything, and sort of stopped. Whereas, you know, they're going to complain once, and they keep getting something. So is machinists. Machinists kept complaining, keep getting better and better. It's just that the identity is missing.
Yeah.
Now, you play summoner as well.
Yep.
You find the mage DPS to be where it should be. You play all of them.
Yeah, I think maybe Red Mage could use a little bit more DPS,
A personal
but
DPS.
not yeah personal DPS because Embolden's fine as it is, I think. But their personal DPS is pretty far behind Summoner and Black Mage.
Is it really that
Um,
bad?
it's fairly significant, yeah.
Like I
But
know when
the
you
thing
play
is, they've got like you're just better at movement as well, but
like I
feel like
know
they
when
just
you
need a
play
little bit.
black mage, you're like over 5k. Summoner a little bit less than that. I
Yeah,
haven't seen you play red mage in a long time, so I'm not sure as to what's the go
yeah,
there.
it would probably be a little bit less than Summoner, and oh well, I suppose Embolden would help a bit, but I don't know. I feel like they just need a little bit of a buff, not like a massive thing.
Mm,
Summoner and Black Mage are fine though, I think. Summoner trades off the big Black Mage damage for the
A little bit
2% on the
mobility
hyper
and
charge thing, yeah. And all like the Ifrit's shields and stuff. But
and
no, I think those two are balanced. Red Mage just a tiny bit personal DPS.
I think the summoner got a pretty good, like, not sort of a rework, but a buff that actually made them relevant again.
Yeah. No, they're quite a good class now.
Yeah. Uh, as for healers, Scholar got obviously quite a bit of buff as well. It sort of just made sure, Adolokium is worth the MP now rather than
Yeah.
before. We touched on this quite quickly during our 4.1 preliminary patches, and it doesn't seem like they changed anything from that. So, as for healers, Scholar has been doing a much decent DPS as far as I know, rather than the rest of the healing classes. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But from what our healers have been talking about, I always see Ara saying, to Saxon that when he's playing Scholar, he does a lot better DPS than he does. So, yeah, I feel like they've sort of gotten to where it's quite balanced. It's just a little bit of tweak here and there. The tanks are fine as they are. The warrior has been fixed. Dark Knight doesn't need fixing, and Paladin had a little bit of rework where, well, nerf in some way. But that made him equal. Warrior is back to being the DPS of the tanks, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I mean, they're all pretty equal DPS though.
Yeah.
It's just
So,
Warrior's a bit easier, I suppose.
and more bursty during
Yeah.
those phases where you need to actually give
Mirror
out,
release and stuff.
yeah, do a lot of DPS. When it comes to those things, I'm like, I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There's nothing different for her paladin. It's just still 1, 2, 3. And the DPS side, your concern is more red mage, not too much. Mine is monk, not too much. If they're gonna stick to what they're doing, I think if they don't rework purification or brotherhood, I think monk should get a higher personal DPS, like back in 2.0 and 3.0. They're still, I don't think they're harder to play. I find Dragoon now harder to play. Because of all the fifth combo. There's fifth combos now, and in my muscle memory is still in the fourth combo. Sometimes I forget about the fifth one, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nah, Dragoon's a lot of cooldown watching as well. It's kind of like Summoner.
And Bar Machinist just needs an identity. Something. I don't know how to actually fix Machinist. Because Bard
They
is...
need some sort of weird, unique buff, I guess.
I don't know, there's the skills as well, so I don't know what can be reworked, like skill-wise, Yeah.
Good question. Maybe they could add promotion again, but they can make it do something else. I don't know.
Yeah. Like for monk you can change purification to something else, and brotherhood you can change it a little bit. I don't know any of the machinist skills that you can tweak and change to make it more appealing or give it an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And healers, like we said, are fine the way they are. I don't know if you need to buff the white mage DPS or the astrologian. I think the astrologian is pretty in the lower tiers of DPS when it comes to the healers.
Yeah, it's the lowest by far, but they make up for it with the cards. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's okay because you make it up with cards for other people. So,
Yeah, and Scholar has chain strat and also good DPS. There
mm,
are no Scholar and Ast are pretty balanced now, I think, especially with the Ad Luquium and Sucker and Pico.
yeah.
They've still got the instant off heals, so
That's right. That's correct. Lustrian and stuff. Uh, yeah, so I guess that's it for this video, guys. We just wanted to talk about how job balancing is, of course, Shinryu X and our experience with it. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, we'd like to hear from you guys what you think of the job balancing in Final Fantasy XIV. Do you think it's reached the point where they don't need to fix anything, or you feel like they still need a little bit of tweaking here and there? As always, you can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins and Deli logging off, and we'll see you guys in the next level. Bye bye.
see ya.